Hey guys, it's Natalie. I hope you are doing well. I know I said that I am really behind on videos, so today I'm trying to play catch up, and I'm doing that by doing 2 tags at once. So please stay tuned. I'm going to be doing the Meet the Booktuber tag, and then I'm going to do this mid-year freakout tag. It might be a little late, but I'm always a little late. What's new? Now for the Meet the Booktuber tag, I was tagged by What Chloe Reads, but the originator of the tag is What Victoria Read, so I will link both of those channels down in the description. All right, the first question is name, age, and location. I am Natalie. I live in Virginia in the United States, and I can be any age you want me to be, and we will leave it at that. The second question is, do you have any siblings, and what is your sibling order? I only have one sibling. I have a younger sister who is 12 years younger than me, which would make me the oldest, so I have one. I don't have tons, even though sometimes I wish I had tons of sisters like the Kardashians, but you know, oh well. Question number 3, what do you do for work? Well, I was a full-time special ed teacher for many years, and now I am a substitute teacher because I want to spend more time with my son, which is in another question, so I guess I shouldn't talk about him too much. But yes, I am a substitute teacher. I do elementary school. I do not do middle schools or high schools. I don't like it when the kids are my size or bigger. Haha! The next question, number 4 is, do you have any kids? Yes. I have one son who's about to turn 14, which is absolutely insane, and I think I've talked about this a lot on the channel. I know we have a lot of new subscribers, but he is autistic, which is part of the reason why when you see a tattoo, if you might be wondering what is that a tattoo of, is an autism awareness tattoo. It's got an autism puzzle piece, so that is also an explanation of the tattoo if you've ever wondered. The next question is, do you have any pets? Yes, I have one dog. She is a German wired hair pointer named Daisy. And then I have a porch cat that she lives on the porch. She used to live inside, but once we got Daisy, she was too scared, so she's taken over our porch. Question number 6, can you drive? Yes, I can drive. I actually like to drive. Most of the time I like to drive and really play my music really loud. I really like to drive alone so I can play my music really loud and then sing along and, you know, have fun that way and not have anybody watching me sing along, because that's kind of embarrassing. Number 7, what was your favorite subject in school? I would say probably like English and history. Those were the subjects I liked. I did not like math. I really did not like math because I was not good at it. Science, it depended. If it was a science that was had a lot of math in it, then I did not like it. But things like other sciences that talked about, I don't know, life and just interesting things about the earth and you know what I mean, those kind of things I found interesting. It kind of depended on how much math was in the science class, if that makes sense. 8, what is your favorite color? My favorite color is purple, even though when I was a child my favorite color was pink, and I don't know, sometime when I was a teenager it just hit me, purple is prettier than pink. Number 9, what is your favorite smell? I don't know if we're talking about like candles, so then I would say like vanilla or peach or something. Like, I don't know if you're talking about candles and lotions, those kind of smells, or are we talking about like food smells? I love walking into Starbucks and getting that coffee smell. I love walking to a movie theater and getting that popcorn smell. When I was a little kid, my favorite smell was the smell of the vacuum cleaner. Isn't that strange? And even now, I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of still like the smell of the vacuum cleaner. I don't know what exactly about it that I'm smelling that I like, but I love to vacuum. And if I'm being honest, it's partly because of the smell, which I really need to kind of search and really dig deep and find out what that's all about. Number 10, what is your favorite book or your top 3? My top 3 would be Divergent by Veronica Roth, Lightning by Dean Koontz, and The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. All right, that was all the questions for the Meet the Booktuber tag. If for some reason you have any more questions that you want to ask, you can surely ask them, but those are all the questions that were in there. So now I'm moving into the mid-year freakout tag. I've been watching these. These are so much fun to watch. I could not find the I could find the originator in some of the videos, but it would take you to a video that was no longer there. So the only video that I could find, it said co-creator, was somebody called Earl Grey Books. So that's who I'm going to link down in the description. If I need to link anybody or add anybody, please put it in the comments because I'm not really sure. I wasn't technically tagged in this video, but I was told about this tag and told that I should do it by the Paper Traveler. So I'll also link her Mid-Year Freak Out in the description as well. So let's get ready to freak out. Question number 1. What is the best book so far in 2019? Oh my gosh, guys. I could only narrow my best books of 2019 to 15 books. So trying to narrow it down even further was very, very hard. But I've narrowed it down to 2. The first one really shouldn't be a surprise since I've really talked about this book a lot lately. But definitely The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman, which I read recently for the Reese Witherspoon Hello Sunshine Book Club, is definitely one of the best books I've read so far this year. And then the other one, I'm gonna go with Dark Matter. And I see a lot of people doing Dark Matter, but if you have not read Dark Matter and then you do read Dark Matter, you will know what the rest of us are talking about. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and make a judgment call and say these are the 2 best books so far, but my gosh, there's been so many great books. Now I'm even more excited to do the other videos so you can see all the other books I thought were so great. Number 2, the best sequel in 2019. I don't know if this came out in 2019. I guess this question really is asking what was the best sequel for you in 2019. And so many of you guys know how much I loved Renegades and it made me jump right into Arch Enemies. So I'm going to say Arch Enemies was the best sequel I've read this year. I did enjoy Scarlet. I talked about that in my last wrap up. But if I were to put the 2 books together, yeah, this was the best sequel so far. Number 3, a new release in 2019 that you haven't read but you really want to read. And for me, I'm going to go with Sorcery of Thorns. I actually have 2 copies of this book. If you watch my last unboxings, you will know why I have 2 copies of this book. But yeah, I really, really want to jump into this book. It sounds so great. It's about a magical library where the librarians, you know, have to fight people because I think the books are almost like alive. So they're like sword-wielding librarians and it just sounds amazing. And since I have 2 copies of it, I really need to read it. Number 4 is what is your most anticipated release for the second half of 2019? And I would have 2. I would say Supernova, which is the book that comes after Arch Enemies, since the Renegades is going to be a trilogy. And then I would have said, and The Starless Sea, because technically this does not come out until November, but I was so lucky that I got a copy of it at BookCon. So I actually have started reading it. You can see, look how little I've read. That's what I've read right there so far. But yeah, those are my 2 biggest ones. And I already have, what is it? What did I just say? Supernova. I already have Supernova like pre-ordered, so hopefully I'll actually get it the day it comes out. Number 5 is what has been your biggest disappointment? Now, I've had a lot of DNFs this year, and I can definitely say there was a book that I gave 1 star, and the only reason I even completely read it was because it was for a book club that I actually had to attend, and that book was The Idiot. In fact, in my wrap-up when I had The Idiot, I think I actually told people in the wrap-up that had this book that if they ever saw this book to stop and run far away from this book. I think I actually used those words. So this definitely was the worst book that I read this year. But it wasn't my biggest disappointment. It wasn't my biggest disappointment because it wasn't like I was like really looking forward to reading it. It was a book that I needed to read for a book club, so I got it. I didn't have any expectations. So no, I didn't like it. But for me, a disappointment is a book that, you know, you were looking forward to and you were excited to read, and then you started reading it and you're like, ugh, this is not what I thought it would be. So for that, I would have to definitely say my biggest disappointment was The Gilded Wolves. This is the first book I ever got in one of those book box subscriptions. I was so excited to get it. Everybody was talking about it. It sounded amazing. It's supposed to be about a heist. I was so excited, guys. You do not know how excited I was when I picked this up and started reading it. And I read to, well, you can see where I read to. I read actually quite a bit. I did not want to admit to myself that I did not like this book. Well, at first, you know, when you're reading a book, you're thinking, oh, it just needs to pick up, or it just, you know, hasn't taken off yet, or it's going to hook me eventually. Because there are books that, you know, you read the first 20 pages and they're okay, and then you get to page 21 and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, what just happened? That's amazing. And the book takes off. And I kept waiting for this book to take off. And it's supposed to be about a heist. And I got this far and it's like, we're still not even at the heist yet. And I finally, had to admit to myself, you're not enjoying this. Stop forcing it. And I had to put it down, but that was a big disappointment. It made me very nervous about my book box subscriptions. I'm thinking the first book I get is not very good. Well, I won't say it's not very good because there are people who absolutely love this. This just was not a good book for me. Number 6, what was your biggest surprise read? And I'm going to go back to The Rules of Magic. I didn't think this book was going to be bad, but if you watch the particular video I did when I introduced this book, I really thought this was going to be just a really light, fun book. I didn't know it was going to just, reach me on such a deeper level, that it was going to have so much emotion and heart to it. So it was a pleasant surprise. I thought it would be good, but I thought it would just be a light, happy book. And it was so much more than that and so much deeper than that. So this was a very pleasant surprise that it was that good. Number 7, who is your new favorite author for 2019? Obviously, these are not new authors. In fact, most of you have heard of these authors, at least one of them. They're new to me, and if you watch my videos all the time, then you might already know the answer to this, but I discovered Marissa Meyer this year, and right now I began Heartless. Now I'm only like 4 pages into Heartless, but so far so good. So definitely Marissa Meyer. I've also jumped into the Lunar Chronicles. Obviously I've jumped into the Renegade Trilogy. So yes, Marissa Meyer has been a favorite. I'm only allowed to read 1 book a month. I'm trying to spread it out so I can kind of savor her, if that makes sense. And then my other favorite author new favorite author for this year, who I kind of have discovered, is Megan Miranda, who does mystery thrillers. She does YA mystery thrillers, but she also does adult mystery thrillers, and I don't care if it's YA or adult. Her mystery thrillers are absolutely amazing, and I basically will read anything she has written, and I think I have maybe 2 books that she's written that I haven't read yet. Now, I'm not gonna do number 8. Number 8 is, what is your newest like fictional crush? And like so many people, I've watched so many of these videos, I don't get fictional crushes. I really don't, and I'm not gonna try to stretch and try to be like, well, I kind of thought he was okay. I don't get fictional crushes. I just don't. So we're going to skip to number 9. Now, number 9 is, who is your newest favorite fictional character? And my newest favorite fictional character is Isabel from Stepsister. She is one of the ugly stepsisters of Cinderella, but the way that she grows and evolves, and she's just an amazing character. I loved her so much. I loved her story. I loved her journey. And like I said in my June wrap up, I really, really, really recommend this book to everybody. It was so great. Number 10 is a book that made you happy, and my answer might seem a little bit strange, but stay with me. I literally just started The Starless Sea. I was very nervous about starting this book because I was just, terrified and intimidated. The Night Circus was just so amazing, and I'm like, how can you, match the Night Circus? But then Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, which I do not know how to pronounce that. If somebody will tell me in the comments, how do you pronounce that? Is it tomes like it rhymes with homes, or is it tombs like it rhymes with rooms? I would love to know that, because I mention her channel every so often, and I'd like to say it right. But anyway, she actually has read this. She also got an arc of it at BookCon, and she really, really liked it, and that gave me the confidence that I needed to also read it. And what's sad is, not sad, but I don't know, maybe a little pathetic, is that is all I've read. This is all I've read. Right there, just this little bit right here, that is all I've read, but just that much has made me so happy. Every page is written so beautifully. I mean, I almost feel like this book, just like with Night Circuits, it's almost like a magic book. It's almost shocking to me that a human wrote this. Like, I think almost like a supernatural being with supernatural literary talents had to write this book to have such a great story. We're already starting to get into the story, and everything is so beautiful. And when I'm reading it, I'm reading it and I'm just like, oh, I mean, seriously, I know that's what I look like when I'm reading it. But yeah, this book, even though I've only read a small part, is bringing me so much joy. Number 11 is your favorite book to movie adaptation, and I can't think of any books that have been made into movies that I've been like really excited about for 2019. I can say that I did read Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty, and obviously they've made that into a series, and right now we are almost at the end of the second season. In fact, we had the next to last episode was it 2 days ago? What is today? Today's Tuesday. So this past Sunday we had the 6th episode. We only have 1 episode left, and I love this show so much. It's just about, you know, women and their relationships, and I was very nervous about them doing a second season because I thought they did really well making 13 Reasons Why into a series, and I thought the first season was amazing and the second season was just horrible. I'm very nervous when they take a book and the first season is the book, but then they try to do subsequent seasons, and I'm like, I don't know where you're gonna go because you already did the whole book. But this season, the second season that they've come up with now, granted Leanne Moriarty actually wrote the second season, so it wasn't, you know, grasping at straws to come up with something. Obviously, if you have Reese Witherspoon and Nicole Kidman and Meryl Streep, it's, you know, going to be the top writing and very quality. But I'm definitely going to say that Big Little Lies, the series they have made from that book, is just amazing. I love it. I'm so sad that it's almost over again, and I'll have to wait another year and a half, 2 years. Gosh, how long are we waiting in between seasons for all these shows nowadays? It seems like we wait forever. Number 12 is what is the most beautiful book that you bought this year? Now, this is going to sound a little weird, but the 2 most beautiful books to me, I didn't actually buy, meaning I didn't actually go into a store, see them, go, oh, those are beautiful, and buy them. Both of the books that I think are so beautiful actually came in book box subscriptions, but to me, I think they're gorgeous, but I did pay for them. They are my books, so let me show them to you. I am going to go back to Sorcery of Thorns. Al Crate changed the cover and made it more purple, which, if you remember from the tag I did at the beginning, I love purple, and there are not enough purple books out there. There just aren't. If you know of some really great books that happen to be purple, let me know. So I think this is gorgeous. It's purple and gold is probably, you know, those are my 2 favorite colors. So this one, and you've probably seen this book in my background for a while because I pulled it out and have had it just out so you could see it, because I just do think the cover for this is so beautiful, for Nocturna. I have not had a chance to read this yet. I so want to read this. I'm trying to find somewhere to fit it in. Just every month is a readathon and trying to find books that fit, but I just think that it is gorgeous, and that is why you see me having it displayed. You don't have it, I don't have it just out, I have it displayed so that you guys can, you know, admire the beauty as well. And the last question is, what are some books you need to read by the end of 2019? I wouldn't know where to start with that question because I recently counted the books in my bookcase that I have not read, and I got to over 60 books. That is insane. So I don't know. I have thought about doing a bookshelf tour, and as I'm doing the tour, letting you know whether I've read the book or not, just so you guys can, one, see all the books on the bookshelf, but also get an idea of how many books I have left. That is why I'm not buying books right now. So yeah, I have a lot. I don't have like specific books that I'm like, I have to read. I have so many, it's insane. So those are the 2 tags I am definitely going to be putting out at some point. The best books of 2019 so far, and I've narrowed it down to 15. I will also be doing the author tag, newbie tag 2.0. I don't want you guys to be confused and see that and be like, she already did that tag. The author tag, whatever, the author newbie tag 2.0 is so different. The questions are so different. It really talks about your actual work. And so many of the questions that I got from you guys when I did the first tag are actually answered in the second tag. So that's why I'm going to be doing that. I also want to do a video just talking about what my writing process is, because everybody has a different writing process. And once you learn to write, you kind of figure out what works for you, because I do want to put some more AuthorTube videos out there as well. But that is all I have. Don't forget, like I always say, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I promise I will follow you right back. And that's it, guys. That's all I got. So I will check you guys out later. Bye-bye.